All right, so how do you get rid of a stiff neck? Perhaps you woke up with your neck feeling stiff, or you were in front of the computer for way too long, and then you happen to get up only to find out that you couldn't turn your neck one way or the other without severe neck pain. If this just happened to you the past few days, do not panic. Majority of people will actually recover from neck stiffness within 2 weeks if you just waited it out. But let me give you some of my favorite exercises to do to encourage you and the neck that everything will be okay. I'm going to show you a similar exercise in sitting, and then I'll show you a similar exercise while standing. Of course, the sitting will be the less intense variant. You may very well choose to do both as a progression of exercises. All right, let's get started. First, let's target rotation. If rotation is an issue, if rotation is particularly difficult when the neck becomes stiff, find a spot to sit at and then fix your head straight ahead and pick a spot on the wall that you see or on a target that you see, but make sure that your head is fixed straight ahead. From here, you want to hug yourself and rotate your trunk one way or the other. Although you're not moving your neck, rotating the trunk one way and the other will give you relative neck rotation. And also, please make sure that your shoulders are not shrugging while hugging yourself. If you feel more than comfortable doing this, feel free to drive this rotation with your hands instead of your shoulders. And also remember that these exercises are not meant for you to push through the pain. I only want you to work within what you can tolerate, because the purpose of this exercise is to just nourish the neck and then your upper back. On that note, if side bending the neck is stiff as well, then this is what you should do. Start in a similar position, have your hands by your side, seated and looking straight ahead and keeping your head fixed straight ahead at a target. Manny, hands by your side. Okay, now reach further down towards the floor with one hand and then alternate with the other. Looking at how I'm doing this, you notice that my trunk will side bend one way and my neck will side bend the other way. So we're essentially using your body, your trunk, to drive relative neck side bending. Again, the neat thing about this is that you can do this within your tolerance. So don't feel like you need to push through pain or discomfort. Okay, now let's talk about looking up and down. If looking up and down is stiff to the neck as well, then remain seated, lean forward and reach straight out with your hands. This will get you to relatively get the neck into extension. Likewise, if you want to do the opposite, if you want to do a bit more neck flexion, then lean back a tad bit while keeping your neck fixed right where it's at and keeping your head fixed straight at the target. And this will induce a bit more of relative neck flexion. Again, you want to do this within your tolerance. I should also say that be careful not to fall on your chair if you try to lean back a little bit to induce relative neck flexion. In a way, I always prefer to do these standing when possible. So if your neck is not too irritable and if you want to try it standing, let me show you the standing variation of this. So to target neck rotation with the upright variant, I want you to pick a spot straight ahead as always. Keep your neck fixed in a neutral position and then step forward with one leg and then rotate your trunk towards that forward swinging leg. Pivot back and then step forward with the other leg and repeat trunk rotation towards the front leg here. Of course, you can certainly choose to rotate your trunk towards one side at a time and then switch to focus on the other. But I always prefer alternating back and forth because it is what reminds me and it's most similar to walking. So I always try to make it as functional as possible. As always, you can always choose to drive this motion with your hands as well. Now to target side bending with the upright variation, again, keep your neck fixed straight ahead. Make sure that your neck is in a neutral position. Do a little lateral lunge while side bending your trunk away from the lunging leg. Again, this will create relative side bending of your neck without being direct here. Feel free to have the hand that your trunk is side bending towards in front or behind your thigh. You have freedom of choice here. Also, be cautious of not sitting too far into your hips with a lateral lunge. Doing this will induce relative neck extension and side bending, which might not be necessarily what you're looking for. Now to target relative neck extension with the upright variant, you want to stand with your feet apart. Knees will be bent and hands will be interlocked behind your back here. Again, keep your neck fixed straight ahead and pick a target to look at. Hinge your hips forward within your tolerance while keeping your head at the fixed target. This motion here will drive your neck into relative extension. Again, be careful with this motion and only work within your tolerance. To target relative neck flexion with the upright variant, you're going to stand with solid footing. And then from here, keep your eyes on the target straight ahead and then raise both hands up and try to get it past your ears. Though this is subtle, it will help you drive your neck into relative flexion. Again, I need not say it again, but I'm going to say it again. Only do this within your tolerance. With each variation of the sitting and standing, I often recommend individuals to spend about a minute in each direction, about 1 to 3 times a day, depending on the severity of neck stiffness. Okay, with all that said, remember that you do not need to force these movements. Go through these movements within your tolerance, and within a week or two, the neck should feel completely better, with some guidance along to keep the spine nourished. If the neck stiffness is a common reoccurrence, it's not a bad idea at all to go see a physical therapist. If the neck stiffness seems to be associated with sleeping position, it might not be a bad idea to play around with a pillow and getting a new pillow. So maybe that's something I can talk about in another video if you're interested. Alright, so that's all I have to say for today. I would definitely appreciate a like if you found value out of this video. And I would appreciate it even more so to see you back here again. I'm trying to build an awesome community that cares about their well-being and the human body. All right, I'll see you in a few days.